Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building is starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Good morning. We are back. We are back for another episode of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Seems like it's been forever since we've had one. And I apologize for that. Get everything set up here. Since we last had a show, it's been a lot that has happened and transpired in the celebrity world. Yeah, we know we've already had the whole Puffy Jacket situation going on and trial going on for a while. So, but in addition to that, the last time we had a show, we was discussing the lawsuit that came out against TP, and it was for $260 million. Now, you all know your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News. You know, I definitely try to look at both sides of the coin on things. I try to call it down the middle and be fair, right? And so, hold on. Once again, I got ahead of myself. 1 second. Let's put out our disclaimer.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Today, everything said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we require that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
All right. So, good morning, Chrissy. Thank you for that daily heart meet. How have you been doing, my love? We was discussing that lawsuit against TP the last time we had a show. And as I was saying, you know, I try to call it down the middle. And with that being said, just hearing some of the things that went on or how events transpired that's in that lawsuit, I don't know if I'm necessarily thinking it's gonna stick, because there's some times where the alleged victim, I think, just from reading it, put himself in this situation, right? And I hate to do that. I hate to say that, or especially when it comes to a alleged victim. But just reading the things that happen, or how he proclaims they happen, you know, I just see that there's a lot of points in there where he could have Dimple Cheeks. Good morning to you, love. How you doing? Where he could have escaped the situation, or how can I put it like this? I'm trying to convey it to you, but like just like, here's what I'm saying. There was no force. There was no force or anything like that we would have in the Cassie case when it comes to Cassie and Puffy Jacket. There was no force or anything like that. Yet and still, he still chose to go back to flying out and being around with TP, even after he says TP had done made advances at him. Now, again, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying he's lying, and I'm not saying he's not lying. I'm talking about the alleged victim. But I'm just saying, just from me, just from my perspective in reading the lawsuit, I don't think that's going to stick. I don't. I really don't. And I constantly advocate for SA and DV victims. So if I'm wrong, then I will own up to that. But I'm just saying, based off what I read in the lawsuit, it seems like that's something he put himself into, right? I don't think, like I said, it wasn't no force. It wasn't anything of that nature. Not saying that without force, SA can't happen. I'm just saying he still went out of his way when he didn't have to be around the TP anymore. He still went out of his way to be around TP and things of that nature. So we have that. And then we had Joey Crack the Don. He's got a lawsuit against him for I think 20 mil or 20 plus mil. And man, I just I don't know what exactly happened to where we are to bring us to where we are right now, to where a lot of these celebrities are succumbing to acts that have been going on for since the beginning of time in the entertainment industry, it seems like. But I digress. I don't know. We will definitely cover. We're going to talk about that too. In addition to, we'll check in on the trial, Puffy Jacket's trial, as we go along. But I want to start off with this because I had one of my news crew members send me a video, and bless her heart, because she says, "Hey, you're from Atlanta, and the brat, she's from Atlanta too." And I don't know if you heard this before. It was just Jessica Smith. Thank you for that daily heartbeat. I appreciate it. How are you doing? First of all, thank you. And I can see, even though the brat isn't from Atlanta, I can see where you got that from, because she did start. When we first heard the brat, our first introduction to the brat, she was on the album with Criss Cross, and Criss Cross, of course, was with Jermaine Dupri record label. So I get where you may think that she. Hold on one second. I do get where you could think she's from here, but she's not. She's not from here. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, people. Okay. All right. Let's getting some bots out of here. But she's not from here. She's from Chicago. But it says the brat reveals what she saw in Puffy Jacket's circle. She hid Biggie Truth, and of course she knows how much I like Biggie. Now I haven't seen this, so we're gonna watch it together for the first time. But and the video credit goes to Culture Spill on YouTube. But let's get right into it, because we got like 10 minutes before the trial start, and I think there's something else I may want to play.
Man, listen, Biggie was a big teddy bear, man. He was so sweet. Now, he intimidating because he a big dude. But when you get to loving on him and squeezing on him, he is just a big teddy bear. He tried to work out every situation. He tried to make peace with everybody. That's why the world was so crushed when his life was, taken away so viciously. Like, everybody that knew him was like, man, no, not Big. Big tried to fix everything and love on everybody. He even made all his women try to be friends. Like, Biggie was like the teddy bear of our century, for real. I miss him and love him so much. He would have made such a difference in the rap game today, yo.
The streets are whispering about Biggie's death again, and this time the person being put on the spotlight for what she may have witnessed is the brat, because apparently she might have seen way more than she ever let on.
Once again, landing, getting my page. I go to the I'm looking.
This is Bill Bellamy speaking right now, everybody.
at the news in the airport, and the brat is sitting on the ground crying. I never forget that. Brat is sitting on the curb crying, and I'm like, what happened?
If you have a 700 plus credit
Hold
score,
on, y'all.
you qualify.
That's commercial. You know how they do.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right on the corner of Fairfax and Wilshire, right there. So I'm like, yo, because everybody was outside. Like, how could you not? How could that happen? Because people couldn't get in the party too. It wasn't like it was everybody's in the party. It was nobody was outside. It was a lot of people outside, bro. So people saw it, right?
I mean, Debret was right there in the mix, close with Jermaine Dupri, making hits and rubbing shoulders with all the big names in the mid-90s. And yes, that includes Biggie and the whole bad boy circle. So the question is, what did Debret see? And did she get out just in time? Okay, we know that back in the day, Debret was one of the very few women who were navigating that male-dominated high-stakes hip-hop industry. And not just surviving.
Look, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Da Brat was the first female rapper to ever go platinum. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what was stated before some years ago. She was definitely hot in the 90s. Like I said, our first introduction to Da Brat is when she was on Criss Cross's second album, but she went on to have a great career herself. With even her first album, Funkdafied, it was a classic. It was a classic, and so yeah, she was amongst the A-listers in the music industry.
But thriving. She worked with Biggie, and they collaborated on a notable song called The B-Side, which was featured on the 1995 Bad Boys movie soundtrack. This track was produced by Jermaine Dupri, who also had a close working relationship with both artists. In fact, Jermaine Dupri has spoken about the admiration Biggie had for the Brat and for her talent, and how their connection was rooted in their shared musical endeavors and respect for each other's artistry in the hip-hop scene. As far as their collaborations, Biggie also made an appearance in the remix video for the Brat song, Give It To You. In addition, the Brat also moved in the same circles as Diddy, and she had a front row seat to the chaos, the parties, the secret deals, and all of the off-record drama. Well, because of this, some folks believe she witnessed things that made her step back. But have you ever wondered why she never got pulled into the deeper mess that consumed so many others in that era? It's almost like she saw the storm coming and made a conscious choice to duck out of the way. But before she took a step back, there has been growing speculation that she may have known what happened to Biggie and how Diddy was involved. I mean, it's already been said a million times by different people that Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy and Diddy was not about to let him go without a fight. In fact, a lot of people have speculated that this may have been the major reason why he was taken out. Then in that expose that Rolling Stone did on Diddy, several people said Biggie and Diddy were never on good terms, and he pressured Bad Boy employees to focus on marketing and album sales for Biggie's release, Life After Death, after Biggie died. Like, he was not even grieving and was obsessed with the album being #1. Apparently, Diddy also still tried to steal Biggie's shine after his death. And there's an incident that was narrated by Kirk Burrows claiming that Rolling Stone approached Bad Boy with the opportunity for Biggie's legacy, but instead, Diddy wanted the spot. Kirk said he was telling Diddy, let's make it Biggie. You still have a chance for a cover in the future. But Diddy responded, no, he's dead. I'm putting out Combs' debut album, No Way Out, in July. I need to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. So that's how Diddy ended up on the 1997 cover of the publication titled Puff Daddy.
Okay, thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Have a good day, too.
Also highlighted that 2 years after the cover dropped, Diddy did an interview with them where he admitted that Biggie's death brought him so much money when he told them, I think his passing added to the fame. At least 2 million of the nearly 5 million copies of No Way Out sold were due to his death.
Let me pause it right there. Here's what I want to ask you all. Do you all believe? Oh, thank you for that community crown, talking with JoJo. I appreciate it. Thank you, bestie. When he made that comment, when Puffy Jacket made that comment, let's just go over. 2 years later, he acknowledged how Big's death had been big business. I think his passing added to the fame. Puffy Jacket told Rolling Stones in 1999. At least 2 million of the nearly 5 million copies of No Way Out sold were due to his untimely passing or death. Now, do you think that's just a figure he was putting out? Natty, thank you for that daily heart me. Good morning, Bessie. How you doing? Do you think he was just putting that out as just like numbers, just like a stat, analytics? Or do you think that that was actually the whole entire plan in itself was to unalive Biggie so that he could recoup and make or could profit off of that and make more money? Because how many times has it been said that artists are worth more, and in most cases record companies, artists are worth more unalive than they are alive? I'm doing good, Natty. I'm doing good. Nee61 says it was planned. I believe so as well. Nee61, I really and truly do. I really and truly do.
Straight up. And that doesn't necessarily feel good, but that's the reality. In the article, Kirk Burroughs also shared that Diddy had a certain jealousy for Biggie's friendship with Tupac before they started feuding. Apparently, Diddy wanted a friendship with Pac, but Tupac wasn't interested because he didn't have any kind of respect for Diddy. In fact, the assumption is that Diddy was the one who initiated the beef because Kirk also said that Diddy is the one who pushed Biggie to write beefy songs and even released Biggie's single Who Shot Ya in 1995 because he knew that it would be viewed as a jab at Tupac. Let's not forget that when Biggie's mom was alive, she always said that she was convinced the LAPD conspired to keep the details of what happened to her son hidden. And she
Look, we've always said that, but we've said that as far as LAPD possibly being corrupt in this, allegedly. But there was things that was found in that investigation after Biggs' passing that put that out. And then there was a Detective Poole was already coming into more evidence of there being alleged corruption when it came to this case in conjunction with LAPD, and he got pulled off the case, and so the way things play out, and then as you just heard, she was saying that actually Kirk Burroughs, who was also like Puffy Jacket's right-hand man, as far as when it came to the Bad Boy label, and which we later found out they had a sexual relationship too as well, but so I bring that up, not that's their business, but I bring that up because it lets you know how close they are, they are. So for Kirk Burroughs to say this, you can't just take it with a grain of salt, because he was there in Bad Boy's intricate dealings. And he said that Puffy Jacket purposely orchestrated the beef between Big and Pac. Now, we know Big and Pac were friends. Pac actually respected Big. And once you stop and you dive into that, you can see how Big is probably just, and I'm gonna say Pac too was just casualties, man, because Pac didn't want to deal with Puffy Jacket or like Puffy Jacket. Puffy Jacket was jealous of the fact that he did like Big. Nee61 says still waiting the 411 who authorized Kids See car evidence destroyed. Exactly, Nee61. Let me give you that. Listen. Everybody, do me a favor. W Nee61 in the live, because again, that she's right. She's right. That shows another by the fingerprint cards and stuff like that, mysteriously coming up missing and things like that, shows another event of corruption with LAPD and Puffy Jacket. Bestie, Jenny, how you doing? Thank you for that community fest. Jenny, how you doing, Bestie? So there it goes again. Thank you for that daily heart me. I appreciate it. So But then we have it again. 1997, LAPD corruption in the untimely passing or unaliving of Notorious B.I.G. and with Puffy Jacket had something to do with that. And then the car, Kid Cudi's car, and that had something to do with Puffy Jacket. And LAPD covered are losing evidence, quote unquote losing evidence,
Actually talked very boldly about that belief. For instance, she previously said that the LAPD detectives who investigated the case know who is responsible for her son's death, but a conspiracy prevents the case from ever being solved. She said that she knew the LAPD did their investigation and found out what happened, but they just refused to move forward, and she didn't know why they never arrested who was involved. According to Valletta, she said it seemed to her that it was one giant conspiracy, and someone was definitely being protected somewhere down the line. Other than this, she also talked about agreeing to be a part of the project City of Lies.
Hold on, another thing I want to point as far as when it comes to LAPD and Puffy and the possible corruption, alleged corruption. Even with the incident with Cassie at the hotel, remember when he bought the videotape, the surveillance tape? And then he was asking the security guard from the hotel, like, who was the police officer? He needed the police officer that showed up at the hotel. He needed his information. And then when the security guard went over to get to give Puffy Jacket the security footage because he paid off. Thank you for the roses, Natty. Thank you. He paid them a great sum of money for that tape. And he paid the supervisor of the hotel, the security guard, and then remember they also gave a cut of the payment to another officer, an LAPD officer. So if you asking them for, thank you for the community fest, I appreciate that, Natty. Now, if you committing a crime like that, why would you need the information of the officer who showed up? And if you actually have done the crime, most people who commit crime, let me put it to you this way. Rita, good morning to you, bestie. How are you doing today? Most people that commit crime don't go pursuing officers to tell them or talk to them about the crime they committed. However, if you know officers that work in the police department that you have a budding relationship with, that you know would cover your crimes, you want their information. I'm just saying.
Which centers around the corruption involved in suppressing the investigation. And she actually opened up more about the corruption involved and said, I have a strong hope that I don't care that it takes 40 years for the truth just for somebody to be accountable for what they did. Those in high positions try to put the case on the shelf and not let the truth come out. They do not want to expose these police officers for the crooks that they are.
PD
all they wanted was to save their retirement. They didn't want to ruffle their feathers.
Exactly.
They didn't want people from the East Coast to come over.
DJ Zay, good morning, my brother.
Under the real investigation to put it on the shelf. She even said that she agreed to participate in the City of Lies, not only to honor Biggie's music, but for Russell Poole, who died in the middle of the investigation. And about Russell, she also said, I hope and pray that the truth would expose them individually. Russell died exposing them. He was a man of his word. His wife said he died of a broken heart because he didn't see justice. All he saw was corruption and pure lies. Everything was hidden.
Now, we talked about that just a few minutes ago. We talked about that. Bestie Jenny says these celebrities just want to turn people out. Yeah, right. And that's having that at the forefront of what they're doing is just not. Man, I don't want to get biblical on here. I don't want to get biblical, but I do believe that our higher power, because it's been said that the devil, that Lucifer, that Satan liked music and was over music when he was an angel. And I just feel like this is... Good morning, Marie. Good morning, bestie. How are you today? I just get a strong feeling that we are seeing something happen that is beyond the realm of earthly being. I think this is a no. I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not battling. I think this is something from a higher power that is now raining. I don't want to say raining vengeance, but I guess to a degree, but more so bringing a verdict or what can I say, man? It's rendering judgment. There you go, rendering judgment on the music industry. I think.
It also doesn't help that we had someone like Gene Deal specifically saying that the day Biggie was unalived, his car was marked.
So my whole thing about it is that it was somebody in our crew
Salute to my coffee drinkers.
that wanted them to know that Big was in that vehicle. And to separate it, that's where you get there was more than one people trying to kill us. You understand?
You're right.
That's where you get that at, brother. That there was more than one, different people was trying to kill us.
I agree.
Because somebody
I
wanted
agree.
to know, yo, if y'all gonna get big.
Me says agree. Hope all comes to light.
More boxes,
Hold on, we
more
got a
options.
commercial. Regulus says amen. Sasha in the building. Good morning. Tiffany in the building. Thank you for that daily heart me love. And thank you for the love you so much because I love you. Thank you for that popular vote. I appreciate it, Tiffany. Hey, hold on. Why? You just reminded me of something, Tiffany.
With the stickers on it.
Listen. There was this documentary. What was the name of the documentary, Tiffany? What was the name? You recommended it. I can't think of it. Yeah, The Waters. Yeah, the water one. Sasha says court is in session right now. Okay. I need to open up. I need to get that going. Hold on one second. Tiffany said it's kind of old, but it's so good. Yeah, I didn't know about it. I just saw it after you mentioned it in your post, and I immediately went to check it out. And wow, even as to the C-19 and where it originated from, how it really got started, and then what they do to the water, what they put in our water, man. I can honestly tell you, I did not know that, and I was driving while I was listening to it, and it was a couple of instances where I was so engulfed in the information and what they were saying in it that the light turned green and I forgot to go. So some people were blowing the horn at me, stuff like that. But listen, you all have to go watch that. I forgot what I watched it on. It was something. It was a green. It had a green. It had a green icon or logo, and it's like a new little platform where you can watch movies and shows on there. Okay, so 3 minutes ago in the court, it has the defense Agnifilio, Puffy Jack is represented. On scheduling, we agreed to the U.S. proposal that summations start Thursday. The prosecution responds with, yes, our summary witness, we now believe will go into tomorrow, unfortunately for him. Then we understand the defense case will consist of reading in some exhibits. Okay. Thank you, Jenny, for the how are you and the friendship necklace. Thank you. And the CGs. I appreciate it, bestie. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, now what people are saying is that the brat knew who was beefing with who, which calls were being made behind closed doors, and how things shifted after Biggie got too big. And while she's always played it cool in public, there are clips, subtle comments, where you can tell she's holding back. Like she knows way more than she's ever said.
Biggie was a personal friend of mine. He was an amazing person. He was like a big teddy bear. One of the sweetest people that I knew. And what was amazing about him to me was when we would go in the studio together, because we have a song together called
Chrissy, it
B-Side.
wasn't Hulu.
And I'm on a
It
couple of
was,
those remixes that he did. It's my voice in the background that Jermaine Dupri did. But he would go in the
Let me see if I
studio
can find it
and
again.
he wouldn't write anything down. So when I was writing with him, I would have my pen and paper and I would just be writing, and I'd be ready with my verse thinking that he ain't working. I got him beat. I'm finna beat him and go in the studio and record before him. Little did I know he had already wrote it in his head. He was the first person that I saw that never wrote anything down. And I don't know how he did that, because he could smoke you under the table. So I'm like, how you smoke so much weed and can remember that and not use a pen and paper to write it down? So Biggie was an amazing person, very talented, and I'm happy to have known him.
Allegedly, she knows some deep details about what Diddy did to people, but she's always been too scared to reveal what she saw, which is why she kind of pulled away. But if word on the street is anything to go by, the brat could be gearing up to do some serious tea spilling, and fans are here for all of it. But on the other hand, we also have people saying that the brat should be one of the last people to expose Diddy, because her past has also been very questionable. I mean, y'all know about that incident involving a cheerleader for the Atlanta Falcons, right? The one who was working part-time as a waitress and hostess at Studio 72, a nightclub in Tucker owned by Jermaine Dupri. And while working as a hostess at a private Halloween party at the nightclub, the brat jumped her. As a result, she received a 3-year prison sentence, followed by 7 years of probation and 200 hours of community service. And the brat was also ordered to undergo substance treatment, a mental evaluation, and anger management classes. When the incident happened, the woman, Shayla, said that she was attempting to walk away from the brat when the brat smashed a nearly full bottle of rum over her head. She further alleged that Jermaine Dupri and his security personnel failed to
Thank you
remove
for the club
brat from
cheers,
the club
Rochelle.
and
I
failed
appreciate
to protect
it.
her from
Thank
the brat
you.
during the altercation. And as if that wasn't enough, Jermaine failed to seek appropriate and timely medical treatment for her or to report the brat to the authorities for fear of bad publicity for Studio 72. Now, in a lawsuit, Shayla claimed blunt force trauma to the head, resulting in brain damage. She also sustained severe lacerations to her head and face, which resulted in permanent scarring and nerve damage. She argued that in addition to medical treatment and pain and suffering, her career as a professional cheerleader and actress was cut short due to her facial disfigurement, resulting in a loss of income. I think the brat has still yet to pay the money she was ordered to pay, which is around $8 million, up from the initial $6.4 million. Before this, there was another incident where the brat was arrested after she reportedly got into a fight with a woman over VIP seats at a Georgia nightclub. At some point during the altercation, the brat is said to have hit the woman over the head using a gun, and the woman was taken to the hospital and received 6 stitches on her head. The following year, the brat pleaded guilty to reckless conduct, a misdemeanor, and was sentenced to 80 hours of community service, a $1,000 fine, and to spend a year on probation. So yeah, people have been saying that given her own past, maybe she should sit this one down. Anyway, regardless of what people may say about the brat, I personally can't get over the fact that she kind of just walked away from the circles and focused on her brand, her music, and eventually her media career. Some people are saying that wasn't just a personal evolution. It was strategic. It was survival. Like, she peeped the dirty business going on in Diddy's camp, saw the writing on the wall, and chose her own exit route. Because those who stayed too close to the fire, we all know how that turned out. So the real question is, was the brat one of the lucky ones or one of the smart ones? And what would happen if she ever decided to tell her side of the story? Would she spill on what she knows about Biggie's unaliving? Would she confirm the rumors about what really went on behind the scenes in the bad boy empire? Or is she just keeping silent for a reason? Well, like I said, word on the street is that she also plans to spill on what she knows. And as we wait, let me know what you think she may spill in the comments section down below.
Okay, thank you for sending me that. But yeah, no, I don't. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything as far as stating that she knew or she said anything pertaining to what she saw. Any of the workings of Puffy Jacket or anything like that. So thank you for sending me that, though. I appreciate it. And thank you for the hand heart, Jenny. I appreciate that, bestie. Um, but hey, if she does know anything, I would love for her to come out and say it and talk about it. I mean, will she? I don't know. I mean, she's past that now. She's got her family. She's got a child, things of that nature. So I don't know if she will or not. But if she so chooses, that'd be great for us all. Okay. So the judge says the jury is ready. All rise. The jurors enter the courtroom. The judge says, jurors, thank you for braving the heat. Welcome back. Agent Sir Celio, I'm assuming that's how you say it. You are still under oath. The prosecution says, I would like to enter sealed exhibits. Please turn off the public screens. All right, so it looks like they're going to dive right into some exhibits and some evidence and stuff that is not privy to the public. Prosecution says, this flight, and that's a question, this flight, and Agent Joseph Cerciello, I guess, says to and from Las Vegas to Van Nuys. Van Nuys. I'm sorry, Van Nuys. Which is wild because we're in this situation right now. We're talking about, Puffy Jacket's trial, and Van Nuys is actually like the headquarter for the corn industry, adult entertainment industry. Paul Arthur on the flight. Prosecution asks, and these messages, and the agent says, I'm just going to say Agent C. Agent C answers with Puffy Jacket, Christina Quorum, and someone named Anika. Not sure how I spell since public screen off. All right. I don't think we've heard of that name before. At least I don't remember. If we have. Oh, okay. So, Puffy Jacket's former chef, Jordan Atkinson, she was originally going to testify, but now that they are saying they're going to rest their case today, she won't be testifying. El Calzone, thank you for the heart me, and good morning to you. How are you doing, bestie? Chrissy, I tried to find what I watched it on, and I couldn't find it. Uh, Tiffany, if you could let people know where they could go and watch that documentary, or where did you watch it at? I'd appreciate that, love. Thank you for the scarab, Jenny. I appreciate that, bestie. This lady doesn't have any updates going. That's it. That's it right there. That's the name. That's the green one I was talking about. Rumble. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. That's it. I couldn't find Rumble. That's the name of it. I mean, thank you, Tiffany. Chrissy, that's the name of it. Rumble. That's where I seen it on. Okay, yeah, she did. Well, hold on. Okay, so I think what's his name is actually his updates are quicker. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. I have something else I want to play too. If we don't, if they haven't updated it yet. Not as of yet, they haven't. Okay, so when we opened the show, we talked about the ongoings of everything that was happening with the entertainment or the entertainment industry as a whole. But we talked about Joey Crack the Dawn, right? Hold on, cousin. I can't wait for closing arguments in Diddy case. Puffy Jacket's case. I'm sorry. I believe he is cooked. Yeah, I do too. I do too. And I'm glad we are coming up towards the end again, people. Again, I want to make sure we put this out there though. Although, from what's being presented, I think he's guilty. It definitely shows guilt. But let's also be mindful of that select group that controls a lot of things. And so if, and I do mean if, they were just doing this to teach him a lesson, he'll walk. He'll get off. That doesn't mean that he's innocent. That just means he's affiliated. I just want to put that out there. Chrissy said, thanks to Tiffany. She said, I'm writing that down. Added it to my weekend watch list. Yes, it is. I'm still in and I'll be honest with you. It also had me upset at what they were administering to patients in the hospital. I ain't gonna ruin it for you. I'm gonna let you watch it, Chrissy, but I'm telling everybody to go and watch it. And shout out to Tiffany for even making the video and referencing that or referring that to people. Have to go and watch it. Have to. Jenny says Cuban Link called FJ out for real and did. But you know, FJ, Joey Crack the Thumb, was actually doing the same thing that Puffy Jacket was doing. And this is going to lead us up to this next thing, which shout out to Empress Radio. Empress Radio is her handle on YouTube. And it says breaking. Papoose warned us about FJ lifestyle when he exposed him and Remy Ma secret apartment. Okay, as you know, or you may not know, Papoose and Remy Ma were married. You all know Remy Ma. She had to sit down and do some time because she unalived her friend. Chrissy says, G Smooth 44. I'm going to be messaging you after I watch it. Beware, laugh out loud. No, hey, please do. By all means, message me. Because I'm telling you, it had me. It definitely goes to show when we discuss the fact how the media has an agenda and a narrative, and they send out, they lie to us and feed us this story, and then come to find out it's not true. Like it's really something that's, man, it's evil. It's evil. And like I said, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you too much, but I want to talk about it. It's evil. That's all I can say. It's evil and it's sad. It's sad. Hold on. Before we play the audio, though, let's go back and check and see if there's been any updates. Okay, so the latest update, the prosecution says, let's listen to Puffy Jacket's 5 audio messages. Please put on the headphones. Now public can't hear either. You know, man, listen, we need to hear some of this stuff. Tori, good morning. Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it. We need to be able to hear some of these things. I just feel like it's some juicy stuff we missing. My bestie Sharita in the building. Good morning. Good morning, beloved. How you doing? You staying cool down there? Let's see. In the Bay. And Sharita, I still haven't forgot. I still haven't forgot. Like I said, when we come down to watch my cousin play football, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna get my hug, bestie. Natty says, "Yeah, we need some kind of context." Laugh out loud. Yeah, we do. We really do. We really do, bestie, because anybody they can come out and say anything, and then we don't know if it's true or not. But I just want to hear so we can decide for ourselves. That's all. Natty, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that, bestie. We deserve to know, right? This is a lot of our childhood, teenage years. This is somebody who was instrumental in the music we listened to growing up. We deserve it, you know. Thank you, Natty, for the finger hearts. I appreciate it. And let's give it up to Natty. Natty lit up the finger heart gift gallery. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, 102 in North Carolina. Man, listen, yeah, definitely, Chrissy, definitely stay cool. Definitely stay cool. I need to check up on a few people, friends that live up that way too. I didn't know that, but I will be doing that after the show. Okay, so no updates yet. Let's just dive into what Papoose has. Once again, people, we're watching it for the first time together.
Who was married and got a crib not too far from the home of his family, but I ain't gonna put him out there.
Well, yesterday we discussed a $20 million lawsuit against rapper Fat Joe. As you guys know, he is a partner of Remy Ma. So we've been talking a lot about the Remy Ma,
Bestie.
Clarissa Shields, Papoose situation. So when we talk
Bestie Jenny says we were shortchanged with all the details. Us old heads, right? We deserve. I feel like we have rights to that, right? We should know. Oh no, that went too fast. Natty says, "Yeah, the heat down here is no joke." See, I need to. I hope y'all stay cool. We don't have it. I mean, it is hot, but not. I think Wednesday here in ATL, Wednesday is gonna be the hottest day. Tiffany said, "FJ, yes, crazy work, right? Crazy work." Hold on, I missed the comment. It won't show me who it is. Oh, El Cazon. It's been 90 plus in Tampa Bay for weeks, and the summer is young. See, yeah. Okay, so y'all near each other. Okay. Man, y'all make sure y'all stay. Y'all, please. Y'all make sure y'all stay cool and safe and hydrated. Natty says, "I'm further south than you. I'm suffering. I need a friend with a pool." I feel you on that. Chrissy said to Tiffany, "Yep. Wednesday is 105. Crazy." Jenny says, "We've been pushing 90s for the last 2 weeks." Man, it's wilding. Natty says, "Yeah, this is Summer Junior. Real summer hasn't hit yet. We're going to be in trouble. Summer Junior this hot. We're going to be in trouble when summer really get to cooking. I'm playing the house. You can catch me in the house. If I go to the grocery store and some underwear and one flip flop on." Sharita Gamble says they tell me not to drink ice cold water. Yeah, I heard, and in fact, my aunt, she did that. She drank some ice cold water one time, Bestie, and it messed her heart up instantly. I don't know how that works. But it did like send it in shock. D Nice says it's supposed to hit 100 and be more today. Woo! Hey, play the AC as much as you can, be it in the house, in the car. D Nice, stay out of that, man. Stay out of it. Yeah, Sharita. Messed her heart up instantly right then in the kitchen. Jenny says, "I don't know how we survived when we couldn't go outside in our youth." Yeah, we didn't even like it, right? We didn't like. We wanted to be outside all the time, and that's if it was this hot. I don't see how we didn't pass out or anything. D Knight says I'm retired, so I'm staying in the house. Smart, smart. Look, we'll look outside. We'll look outside the window if we want to see outside, right? Absolutely, absolutely, my brother. I don't fault you for that at all. Okay. 2 minutes ago, the prosecution asked, "What's this GX1406, page 1? Were there explicit videos cited in this chart? What do they show?" Agent C says, "Sexually explicit videos." Prosecution asks, "Is there one woman in them?" Agent C says, "Jane. Also, I recognize Cabral and Puffy Jacket." Prosecution says, "And other men?" And the agent responded, "Yes." This little nasty horn toads, wasn't it? Man, everybody hunching on everybody. Reading all of this, it makes me think back to my cousin's song in the 90s, Humping Around. He said, "Ain't nobody humping around." Bobby, you was lying? Everybody was hunching around. Everybody. Everybody looked like they were hunching around. How does that set up? Like, I'm just thinking, like, how does that work? Who, the event planner just say, "Hey, we're having this party. Everybody show up." And then when you show up, it's like, I'm hunching, hunching, hunching. I mean, that should be in a disclaimer or in the party invitation detail. Party at such and such time, at such and such address. Come only if you're hunching. Give them a chance to, because you don't want to go into the party. "Hey, how's everybody? Oh, hold on. Whoa, no, don't grab my. Hold on, now keep your hands on my buns." And no, I ain't trying. Whoa, like, come on. Sasha said he was giving them Diddy drink. Yeah, take that, right? Yo, this is wild, man. This is wild. Like, the whole community, and the crazy part about it too, when we listen to it, we can't even say Hollywood, because they went hunching on locations like Miami, New York, out the country. Yeah, the eye drop bottles, right? That's, man. Jenny says to Chrissy, that part, "And nobody to help you when you flew off the merry-go-round at 80." Girl, yes, I am a victim of that. Yeah, I did. My stepdad, man, and at that time, that was before he got, he was built and strong, man. And him and my mom had just met. I was on the merry-go-round at the playground. And, hey, for people listening to post-production that's from Mayweather, Baptist Town, that playground. Man, he was spinning that merry-go-round, and he was built, so his spin was serious, man. I felt my hand slipping. I'm trying to tell my mom I'm to slow the merry-go-round down, but they talking and they dating, so they into their conversation. Man, I flew off that thing, landed right in the mud puddle. I was so mad. Yeah, Turk and Caicos, right, Sasha, right. Like, I mean, they took it like that. That's insane, man. That's insane to do. And I know I told y'all I told y'all we're gonna play the audio from Papoose or that video. And we will. We just also bouncing back and forth. You know how we do. All right. So no updates. So we'll get back to the video.
Talked about it. There was this one comment that made a lot of sense. So let me read the comment. So shout out to Frankly. They said in Pep's response to Remy, he mentioned someone else having an apartment for their side piece around the corner from their house. It wasn't just Remy. He said he wasn't going to put the person out there. And now we hear Fat Joe has an apartment around the corner from his own marital home. I certainly believe it. So that makes a lot of sense because I'm like, wow, you guys actually,
I didn't
man,
know
you
that.
guys are right. That's why I like to interact with you guys in the comment section.
I didn't know
So
Papoose
one
even
of the
said that.
specific allegations in this lawsuit, this Dixon guy is putting out against Fat Joe, it says this: the lawsuit further claims that Fat Joe developed a relationship with another Latina girl starting when she was 15. Dixon alleged Joe paid her bills, housed her in a Florida condo near his family home, took her on overseas tours, and considered leaving his wife for her. So when you say, like they were saying his associates and all kind of stuff, RICO, racketeering, just all these allegations involving Fat Joe and his business, and now we're seeing connections between Remy Ma stuff having secret apartments.
Hold on, pause right there. Sasha said, "Did you read TP's lawsuit? Very disturbing." I did. I was talking about that earlier. The only, of course, yes, it is disturbing. It is very disturbing. I just feel like that Dixon person kind of see, because I don't want. There were some things that I feel like he could have done differently that wouldn't have put him in the situations that he was in. So that if TP is to beat these charges or beat this case, I think it'll be based upon that that Dixon wasn't forced, right? Yeah, Jenny, you're right. It's wild that two victims with the name Dixon. You're right. I agree, bestie. That Dixon didn't. He willingly went back to that uneasy, unsettling environment. Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the voice messages though, that's gonna be bad. That's the bad part. Yeah, Natty. TP too. But like I said before though, I wasn't surprised because we talked about TP on our original channel. And I mentioned one of my wife's co-workers or ex-co-workers who is in the movie industry. She's an actress, and she had done some work for TP, and she told us how he was. So, and I know she don't have no reason to lie. Like she's just a genuine cool person. I put it like this: she was a doctor as well as an actress at that time. Now she's just an actress, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's why. And then we have this coming out with Joe. It's just like I said. I feel like the judgment is being rendered on the industry. And if so, I can't say that I feel bad about it. Like, because it's been going on for so long. Because there's been so many innocent people who became victims unwillingly. Like, it's not, there's a difference. Okay, I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this because I made an edit for Rudy. We took her to the skating rink yesterday, and I made an edit. I took some videos of her, made an edit. You may have seen the video on my page, but the song behind it was Jewel's song, Intuition. I don't know. I'm a music lover, so I listen to all kinds of music. Like, it doesn't matter, right? But when I was listening to it, Jewel was telling us about the industry then and about, follow your intuition. Like, don't sell your soul. Like, of course, we didn't get it. Again, a lot of messages we didn't get back then because it wasn't on the spectrum that it is now. It wasn't as dominant as it is now. We see it this case alone. Yeah, we heard snicker here and there about stuff in the past, but this case alone with Puffy Jacket has put the biggest light on the industry, right? And so now when we do listen to some songs from way back when or in the early 2000s, the context of it, now we get the context, and it's like, wow, we missed it. We missed it, you know? Sasha says, do you think Allie Carter girl is telling the truth? That's a good question. That is a great question. W Sasha in the chat. That's a great question. Here's the thing. What she is saying, we have seen instances of it. My only hesitation to what Allie is saying is that she don't provide me with receipts. Yes, she do call out people. Yes, she did call out the CPS. I think it's Riverside, California. Don't quote me on that, but it is a CPS that she was in California that she did mention them. And so when it comes to something like that, it's like, okay, well, she's got to be telling the truth because you can't say nothing like that and then it not be true. Right, Sasha, right. She said, right now, receipts. Right, what we're seeing now, it totally lines up with what she's been saying, right? Rochelle said to Sasha, the squeaked wheel gets the most grease. I like that. Jenny says, my thing is, she says she don't want money, but has like 5 places to donate your money. And that's true too. That is true too. So yeah, Sasha, that's really my whole take on it. I mean, put it like this, I think it's a situation where 2 things could be right at the same time. There's no argument that she is telling the truth about some things because we see it happening. Whether she lived it or not, I don't know. Whether she heard it from someone else, I don't know. And see, but then it's like, but see, that's the thing. That's the time we live in, like, where the truth can be put in a different narrative and pushed out to the masses that'll make us think it's not true. For instance, the picture with her and Pac. Well, she said it was her in the picture, but other people said it wasn't her. Jenny says King World has some good info about her though. Yeah, I would recommend people and don't get me wrong, I don't agree with everything King World says, but I do believe he covers her perfectly. And so I recommend people going and watching his content when it comes to her because he gives you receipt on what he finds out, you know. Sasha said she's naming names like, oh, yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, so, and if you've even paid, and when I say you, I'm not talking about you, Sasha. I'm talking about general, in public, general. If we paid attention, Oprah was talked about before Allie Carter said anything. It's just been giving her status. It didn't get the press that it needed, you know. But then too, it goes to their oath or their rule. You know, their business stays secret. You know, you don't talk about the things that you see. What happens in Hollywood, stays in Hollywood. You know, kind of like the saying with Vegas goes. And so, um, Oprah, of course, didn't, and we're gonna say allegedly, but she didn't get the press on those allegations that she should have gotten because she was very influential. She had her talk show, you know, of course, the movie Color Purple and all that. So she was already very influential. So they wasn't gonna mess up that money generator because that's what she was, a money generator. All right. So 5 minutes ago, the prosecution says other men agency said yes. Says let's play some videos with attorneys screen off. So the attorneys' screens are off as well. While explicit videos are played, Puffy Jacket takes off, then puts back on his glasses, or his glass should be glasses. Leans over to pick up something from the floor, sits back up. I don't know. Maybe this could be an uncomfortable situation for him. Maybe this is something that he definitely didn't want being played. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not there. I'm just saying. Jenny says TP stole the idea from Miss Sophia. The Sophia. Yeah, you know, I mean, and they're best friends. They're best friends. You know, it's wild. Like the whole thing is wild. The whole thing is wild. Even with TP, you know, how he started out, and like I said, he had churches helping him, and especially when he was doing his stage plays, and you know, before he became who he became, you know, a lot of the black churches funded it, helped him along the way, and you know, allegedly, look what he's been doing. Jenny says then he shouldn't have recorded the situation for real, Puffy Jacket. Absolutely, I agree. Once again, this is where I feel like him recording stuff to try to blackmail people or have something to hold over people's head to control them backfired on him. Because regardless of what people think as far as is he guilty of Ricardo and stuff like that, which, by the way, Joey cracked the dawn. F. Joe is a Ricardo charge. But regardless if people say that they see that or not in Puffy Jacket's case, man, them videos that they use, you can't deny that. You can't say that that's not him if in the video. So I don't know what's being played in this video, but apparently if they're playing it in video, you know, there's something in there that they felt like it was pertinent that they played it. Hey, is Angel in here? I don't know if Angel came in or not. But Angel, if you are in here, Bessie, I told you I'll remind you after we had the show with you all, you and Dimple Cheeks. I told you I'll remind you. You're supposed to do your live. You said you're gonna start your live either between June and July. And I'm just checking in because we at the end of June, coming up on the end of June, near the end of June. And I'm just checking in to see where we at. You gonna start doing your live? Jenny, bestie, you know I'm waiting for you to go live. I'm waiting. You got it. Both of you got it. And you all know I'll be there to support. I'll be there in your shows, stuff like that. But yeah, I think you all are ready to do it. Okay, let's see if they updated anything. No, not yet. He must still be watching. Okay, so let's get back to Papoose real quick. So this is where we stopped playing. Bestie Marie says, yes, he will. Yeah, exactly. The lawsuit, I'm sorry. We left off where he allegedly, and I'm talking about FJ, bought a condo in Florida near his family's home for a 15-year-old to live in so he could have access to her. And he took her on overseas tours with him and thought about leaving his wife for
But yeah, so let me show you guys what Papoose had to say here.
In detail. But the fact that you fabricating these stories about my character, I gotta do it. Also, what I wanted to address. Throughout the duration of me being home with my child, when you abandon my child, so you could go stay in an apartment that you got 40 minutes away from my house, I can literally post the address up here. She went and got an apartment between her and this lane, 40 minutes from my house, ran back and forth there every other day.
Okay, so I know some of y'all like, wait, he said her, she. Oh, he's talking about Remy Ma. Like I told you all, they were married and they have kids together. And the crazy part about this is when Remy Ma unalived her best friend, you all can go and watch that on the ID channel. I forgot the show, but it's on there. When she unalived her best friend and had to go to prison, he held it down, man. He stuck by her. He kept the family going. And, you know, she got out and just, you know. Dr. Rashida, good morning, bestie. How are you? You know, she got out and just done what she decided to do. And that's why he's talking about her right now. And when he's talking about she got a partner with Lane, got an apartment with this Lane. The Lane he's talking about is Joey Crack the Thumb, FJ. So now, you know, just
lying, saying she's not what to do anyway. You went and got this apartment 40 minutes away from my house. And
great news, Spectrum Internet customer.
Let me get past this commercial.
So the main reason why she started to have animosity
Dr.
towards me
Rashida,
was
thank you
this.
for that community fest. I appreciate it.
One day, because every birthday we celebrate birthdays together as a family. Things. Because it's not true. And it came to my attention that she was going around lying to people about me. Rewriting history like she's doing on her page. Rewriting history, changing stories. So I let her do that. And in the process of me allowing her to lie, I started to realize that certain fake individuals, you know what I'm saying, who I don't even want to bring in this, man. I don't even want to bring in it. So I'm gonna leave them out. I'm gonna leave them out of it, man. I ain't even gonna talk about these people. But I don't want to go away from my point that I was making. I don't even want to go away from my point. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Like I said earlier, do not allow these celebrities who you've been supporting and following their journey to tell you that you don't know what's really going on. Y'all don't know what's really going on. Y'all need to stop commenting on it. Yes, they do. And what did they see?
So, thank you for the perfume. I appreciate that, Nat.
I didn't say anything. They seen Papoose did what he did to the knockout victim. First thing everybody said, I didn't say nothing. Oh, he must have been doing something with his wife. Because that's what Pap go crazy on. That's when Pap go crazy, when somebody fuck with his wife. They know that about me. You can't change the people's mind about that. How many times I done went crazy over you? How many times I done held you down? They know that about me. So what I'm just trying to say to y'all is don't let these iPhone screens and these stages and these lights blind y'all. Y'all seen it all. Y'all seen when that transpired, what everybody started saying. Y'all seen the lies, the fake tweets that went up. Hey, everybody's saying something happened between Pap and this chump. It's not true.
Papoose is one of the most underrated rappers, I think. He's really good at it. He's really good at it. And he doesn't really get the credibility that he should. Sasha says there will be no defense witnesses in Puffy Jacket's defense. Natty said there's going to be no celebrities left pretty soon except B. Spears and Amanda Bynes. Yeah. I'm feeling that way. Rochelle, thank you so much for the community fest. I'm sorry I didn't see that. Thank you. Hold on. Let me move this out the way. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's crumbling down. And It's at a steady pace. The closer we get to the end of Puffy Jacket's trial, it seems like the more things are coming out. And it's not just limited to hip hop. I'm talking about actors. I'm waiting for athletes. You know, hey, the heat it's been off of King James for a while, but I don't know if he's actually completely in the clear yet. And by the way, this is off subject, but because he's an athlete, it made me think about it when we talk about athletes. The PD in Hollywood, Florida. Be mindful. Anybody that lives in the area down there, close to there, or have to deal within the Hollywood city limits, be careful with their police department. They're crooked. They are crooked. There's a video of them, and this is actually the second time it's happened, but it's a video of them putting their hands all on former NFL great and NFL Hall of Famer and former Super Bowl champ, Warren Sapp. Shout out to Warren Sapp. You know, but they are definitely misusing their badge and the authority of the badge. They're not using it. And I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. I'm sure there are some good ones. But here's what I have to say to people to say, well, not, because I get this all the time too.
Not all police officers are bad. There's some good ones.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But to that, this is what I say. In order for us to differentiate the two, how about the good police officers start policing the bad police officers? That way we don't have to worry about who we talking about. Because when I bring that up, I'm only talking about bad police officers. And also let me go forward that. If the good cops are present when the bad cops doing things that they're not supposed to do and staying complacent and don't say anything, the good cop still becomes the bad cop. Even though he didn't do anything, he still becomes the bad cop because he didn't do anything. You feel me? You understand? Shout out to Whistleblower for Justice organization. But, and I was gonna play that. I was gonna play that video too, but I'm not going to, because I'm all over this. I'm not even giving you all the Papoose video, and I'm sorry, man. I miss y'all, so I just like talking and interacting with y'all. But Warren Sapp showed up to talk to a city leader about some the security company that's at the building that they're in, and the guy didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to answer the questions. He didn't want to answer the question that Warren Sapp was asking him. Now, mind you, he invited Warren Sapp into the office to come back and talk to him. But then that city official went out and called the police on Warren Sapp and said that he was being unruly and disruptive and stuff like that. Nah, man. Nah. Marie said they get away car. Who has a getaway car? So those of you that's friends of mine that are near Hollywood, Florida, or live in Hollywood, Florida, just be mindful of yourself. Try to avoid them, their police officers at all costs, because I don't know who's the good cop and the bad cop, but clearly from what I've seen in the video, and this was the second time it's happened, not to him, it happened to another person too. On top of it. Oh, read the message on top of it. Okay, hold on. Hold on. 1 second. It's not showing me nothing, bestie. Who made the comment? Dr. Rashida, you live close to Hollywood, Florida? Okay. Bestie, please, when you out and about, and the good cop and bad cop. Okay, I got you. Yes, they are to get. I get what you're saying now. Right, Bestie. Dr. Rashida, Bestie, keep your head on the swivel. Move cautiously. Because they're not being held accountable for their action. They're not. And I don't understand how people who took an oath to protect and serve get that position, get their shield or badge or whatever you want to call it, and choose to let that power to allow them to deviate from what they took an oath of doing. And then when they do that, why are there not any repercussions for that? And if it is, it's the bare minimum. Like they took an oath. Jenny, yeah, Bestie, prime example. She says them folks that helped Puffy Jacket get away with so much dirt. Yeah. Dr. Rashida, exactly. Good old boys club. That's like, right. Why are they not made to be held accountable? And not only held accountable, but when it comes out, why are they not having to face more severe punishment? Because they took an oath. Bessie Sharita says, many times when the king is wicked, so will the people be wicked. Oh, that's powerful. W. Sharita in the live. That's powerful and correct. So, but then with that, let's go up. Let's get that person that sits above them that's not ridiculing them. Like, hey, you didn't handle this like you should have. So, since you didn't, you face repercussions too. And even more because you're supposed to be the leader. Not you, Sharita, but I'm talking about, you're supposed to be the leader of these men. And you allow them to get away with this right here. Like, nah. Okay, 6 minutes ago, the prosecution asked, can we go to the 5-minute mark? Looking at row 16, does it also have an explicit video? Agent C responds, yes. Prosecution says, play it and then take it down. Man, I hate that we can't see these. I want to see, not that I want to see the video. I guess here's what I'm trying to say, because that could come off wrong. I want to see how damaging it is. What is it? What's the significance of them showing this video? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what is the significance of it? And I feel like we need to see this, because here we are up on the end. They're talking about, I'm talking about the prosecution. I'm talking about, look, we don't even need all the time that we originally said we needed. We're going to be wrapping our part of this trial up here shortly. I think somebody even said by the end of the day. I'm not sure if that's correct, but so what are we playing right now? Because if I remember correctly, in court, when it's coming down to you getting to the end and your final, time of you questioning people and having people understand, you supposed to bring the home run, right? Jenny says, just a hint. I'm invested from the 90s for real. That part, the night. Listen, we got stock in this, right? Natty says prosecutors say they may be finished today. All right, so I was right. Okay, so if they supposed to be finished today or may be finished today, that means they're coming. They've already agreed that they're coming up on the end of their portion of this trial. And so when you get to the end, that's supposed to be when you hit the home run. That's when you supposed to put that final nail in, right? So if they're at the end and they're playing these videos, what's on these videos? It's got to be so damaging that it wasn't played before. It's played here at the end. You waited in your. It's like this is their. You know, you playing spades and you slam the card down on the table when you know you got that game wrapped. Like, yeah, you got that game. You got that book. That's yours. And so that's what we're supposed to be at right now as the prosecution team. So I need to know what's on it. I may have to wait for Tisa Tales for her report. Shout out to Tisa Tales. Shout out to Khadijah Lynn too. By the way, while I'm waiting for them to update stuff, it's Monday, and you know what that means, right? It's Monday, and so you go on YouTube, you follow Global Impact Wrestling TV, and check out your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter morph into video game mode as I take my real-life character into the video game and become pro wrestler in the video game world. Check us out. It's Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's really some good shows. It's family friendly oriented. You ain't gotta worry about nothing crazy. And let's check us out. My baby girl, Rudy, Kaylin, she's put in the game. We had her created as a character and put in there, and she beat the women's champion. Believe it or not, first time me and my baby beat the women's champion. So she'll be facing her for her title at some point in time. All right, it's still. My wife is on there. We gave her a character. Her name is Trinity on there. So if you go and tune in, you see Trinity, that's my wife. She doesn't care about pro wrestling. She doesn't like pro wrestling at all. Other than watching me. Man, she's watched me. And I think the thing about that with my wife is she don't really care about it, but her dad, God rest his soul, to my father-in-law, was an avid pro wrestling fan. And so for her husband to be a pro wrestler, I think that kind of, I don't want to speak for her, but I think that kind of is sentimental to her, you know. Yeah, hey, Bessie, Jenny, thank you for coming in and keeping up with us. You know, like she be in there, she be chatting with us in there, because that's the thing. We get in there. Now, I can't tell y'all the storyline. You know, I still got to keep kayfabe, so I can't tell y'all the storyline. But yeah, she's in there with us, and she keeps up with us. She keeps up with us. And Bestie, I love you for it. I love you for coming in there and for supporting it. We have fun. Man, just check it out. Just check. You got nothing to lose. It's free. It's free. And you've got kids that like video games or like pro wrestling or like both. It's a perfect thing for them to watch and get into. You know, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, I'm going to announce this too, because the producer just sent me a message. I can see his icon here in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen. Don't forget, July 1st, 8 p.m. on YouTube. Go and follow Tayretta Vision Films, because July 1st at 8 p.m. on YouTube, our web series, the hottest new web series, Dope Girls, drops. And your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter is one of the stars of the show. Of course, my name on there is Stacks, so it won't be Mr. Breaking News or G Smooth. Stacks. So come in and join us. Join us and watch it. Can't tell you too much about it because I have to keep that under wraps. And I got some more scenes to go shoot on Saturday. So can't say too much about it. But July 1st, Dope Girls on YouTube. Follow Tay Retta Vision Films. Subscribe to Tay Retta Vision Films. Subscribe to Global Impact Wrestling TV. Subscribe to G Smooth 404, which, by the way, I know we're missing some of our latest episodes of hashtag I'm going to say it on there. And that's because for some reason, TikTok is not allowing me to download the replays so I can put it on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try again today on this one. But what we may have to end up doing, which is I hate, but what we may have to end up doing is cutting the shows down to just an hour. And so that way, or under an hour, maybe like 55 minutes and some change. So that way I can go back and post it on here. Right? Bessie says TikTok has it out for you for real. They do. Listen, I really behave. You with me. You sit with me. I behave. And they find something. I'm talking about they mess with me all the time. I don't get it. But we may have to end up doing that. We may have to just drop it down within that time frame, and that way we could just put post-production of the show on this platform and let it be that. Okay, so let's see. The prosecution says, okay, let's now go to a chart 1408. Who are the names? Agent C says Jane Doe, Jonathan Perez, Trump International Hotel. Oh, I was like, Trump International Hotel. Okay. Prosecution says, what is the address listed? Agent C says 1 Central Park West, Manhattan. Prosecution says for 7Y-120. What is the room number? Agent C says 0508. The judge says, Ms. Comey, could we turn back on the public exhibit screens? And the prosecution said, which is Ms. Comey, says, we are about to show an exhibit with Jane's true name. If you'd like me to be turning it on, and off. Okay. So I guess she's saying, listen, because we're about to post her government name, and that would conflict with her being granted testifying under the pseudonym of Jane Doe, then you could turn it on. But that was your judgment. You granted her that, so it would be breaching that. It's court over here. So let's update it some more. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay, there's no updates yet, so let's pick it back up with Papoose.
Y'all seen, I didn't say nothing. Y'all seen the meatball do an interview with makeup on his face saying, ain't nobody never touched me. You know what I'm saying? Because she put the makeup on him. You know what I'm saying? Nigga got a little sugar in his tank too, man. Don't play with me, boy. I'll expose you to them folks who don't know you. Moving on along.
Joey? Buddy? Brother? Bro Ham. I don't know what you did allegedly to Papoose, but the way he talking, he got receipts, man, and when stuff like this come out, as Papoose is saying that Joey cracked the dawn, FJ, Got a little sugar in his tank, which we don't care. We don't discriminate. That's to each his own. But yeah, Sasha. Okay, Sasha says, Puffy Jacket taking notes. Laugh out loud. Yeah. He probably trying to scribble him and tell look, ask this, or this is why that happened. You know, whatever they're playing in there. But when things like this is being said, such as what Papoose is saying about FJ, it immediately takes me back to that interview that Pimp C did on the radio station here in Atlanta. Rest in power, Pimp C. Rest in power, my brother, because that's what he was talking about. These rappers running around the industry portraying themselves to be gangsters when in actuality they just need to be true to themselves. You know, if you a power bottom, be a power bottom. But you know, rap about that. You know, stay in your lane. So the more things like this is said, the more I have a really, really, really hard time believing that Pimp C self-unalived. Or unalived himself, however you want to say it. You get me? Now, I'm praying for Papoose, too, because even though he's smart by not saying any names, if you know, you know. Because his wife did share an apartment with FJ. So when it comes to him saying, I'm not saying the name, but you know she is who she shared the apartment with, you kind of, it's a no-brainer. Jenny says, nah, they gonna get him. Yeah. I hate it. I wish and pray and hope not. However, how many times have we seen this movie play out, and it doesn't end well for the person that is exposed. Natty said the hints are there. Absolutely. And whew, I know you could pawn this off to, well, he's lying because he's just upset that his wife is with somebody else or did something but you got to understand though, people, he loved her. He stood by her even when she unalived somebody. We don't have to say alleged on that. Like I said, it's actual. They made a show about it on ID, and she raps about it. And I'm not gonna say she brags about it, but she lets you know that the person owed her friend owed her some money, and so she was playing with her money. So her friend. Mind you, though, if you can do that to your friend over that, were you really her friend? And then secondly, what does that say about your character? Natty says, right, when you love someone, you're going to defend them. Right. Jenny says, nah, Papoose found love. He has nothing left for mine. And that's cool. That's good because I'm going to be honest with you. Papoose is a good man. From what I've seen, I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen, he's a good man. He's a good father. So from brother to brother, from father to father, I respect him for that. And so whatever she did to him, you know, hey, I think she lost a good person. Natty says, you stand by them even when they're wrong at times. Right. And that's true. And I just think he's kept it. Listen, if it was just him wanting to, if he was just in his feelings and he wanted to get back at her for whatever she did or for the breakup or whatever or whatnot, so on and so forth, then he would have said this a long time ago. So the fact that he held on to it, it didn't say anything during that time, and now he's saying something. I think it's true. I think it's true. Once again, it's one of those things. I think Sasha. I think it was you and I that asked the question earlier to me about Allie Carter, and we were saying how some of the things she's saying is now coming out, and so it's got to be true, right? Well, same thing. The stuff that he said about because you got to understand this interview was before now, or it's not an interview. It's him on his phone. He's doing like a live, but he made these statements before FJ got the lawsuit filed against him. So, I mean, we can only pretend to be ignorant for so long, right? Like we say, well, what? No, he didn't say that. He can't be talking about him. I mean, everything he said lines up to it, and we know what we know now. Good morning, baby. Did you make it back from Miami? Talking to my daughter, everybody. I know y'all like, what? Whoa, who's he talking to? My daughter's in here. Good morning. Good morning. Did you make it home safely, or are you still in Miami? But can also tell you this too. You know, they say, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. We're the same with guys too, man. And I'm not saying he's doing this because he's scorned. What I'm saying is he loved her enough to hold all of these secrets in. And even when they went their separate ways, he still hadn't dropped a dime on her or said anything. And then whatever happened transpired and led him to this right here. Now, I don't know if FJ was part of, had a hand in their breakup or not. I don't know. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this here. Papoose is throwing shots at him, too. But it ain't out of malice. It's what's happening. It's in the lawsuit. You get me? My daughter said, no, we're still here getting gas and then heading out. Okay, be safe, baby. Be safe. And just as I was telling people, and I don't know if you go through there or not, but if you go through Hollywood, Florida, please be careful. All right? The police down there is on they on a dipset. All right? So be careful. Be careful. Did you ever call your cousin? Like I told you? Or at least text him? Don't matter, now you coming home. You're in Hollywood, Florida right now? Listen, baby. Listen to your father. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your third eye open. You know, since you was a baby, I've always given it to you real. I don't sugarcoat nothing. So if I'm taking it upon myself to tell you this, please listen to me. Now, you're pretty good at it. And don't be like your sister. Listen to me. Be careful. Keep your head on the swivel. Get out of Dodge as quick as possible, but as safe as possible. Whatever the speed limit is, go the speed limit. Okay? Listen to me. When you get out of Hollywood, let me know you made it through there. Man. But yeah, so you know, it's not we're not gonna sit here. We can't sit here and say that, hey, this man is doing this because he feels some type of way about their breakup. I mean, this stuff was already, he had already said this long before we got here. I'll text you when we're on the highway. All right, okay, baby. Okay, do that. I love you. I love you so much. I'm proud of you. Okay. Update. Prosecution says, whose name is on the American Express bill? Agent C says Puffy Jacket. Got him. Prosecution says, what was the cost for this stay? Agent C said $2,890. Prosecution asks, who paid for Jane Doe's travel? Please turn off the public screen. Agent C said, bad boy. Boy. So let's
We have Ricardo charges.
using his company to fund SMEX traffic. Prosecution says, who paid for Cabral's travel? Agent C says, Jane Doe. Prosecution asks, and what is this? Agent C answers, a wire from Puffy Jacket to Jane Doe for $5,000. Prosecution says, turn off the public screen. Okay. Smart and not smart on Puffy Jacket's part. Well, Mr. Breaking News, what do you mean by the smart? How's he smart? Okay, let me tell you. Smart is he gave the money to Jane Doe to pay, so it looked like she did it. The not smart is there's documentation that he wired her the money for that. So indirectly, he still funded it, and they have evidence of that. And once again, what is that?
Ricardo charges.
Hey, Sasha, that's probably what he was scribbling down. That's probably the notes he was making. He was probably worried about that being brought out. Okay. The prosecution asks, does Robin Greenhill write, please send $5K, which is $5,000, to Jane's, and then it has her true name, her government name. Agent C says, yes. Prosecution asks, and who is being paid for here? Who is being paid for here? Public screen is still turned off. Agent C says, Brandon Paul, Cabral Williams, and Jane Doe with an American Express. Jessica Ruiz, OPCO, LLC. Huh. What is OP? Let's go to do some investigating here. Hold on. CO. Hold on, people. Okay. Let me see. Let me go back. Does it have a name on it? Okay. Okay. Let's see who she is. Hold on one second. Okay, based on the provided search result, it appears there's a direct connection. However, one search result mentions who was involved in Puffy Jacket's update. She was described as Conan's travel arranger and was involved in conversations with his chief of staff about flight arrangements and related matters. Okay. Okay, so that's what we have. That's who Jessica Rue is. So even still with that, what that does, it shows us the enterprise. That gives us the enterprise. He has a travel agent arranging that. He talks to his uh what you call it, chief of staff, and it's paid with his credit card, which was supposed to be not his personal, but the company. So Jenny says Robin at TriStar with Lou Taylor, and she isn't she's the one with Brittany, right? We don't have any updates yet. Okay, we don't have any updates yet, but we have about 10 more minutes of showtime, and then we're gonna wrap up here. Um, well, about 5 more minutes, but we're gonna keep following up until then. Jenny said, "Where's this petty cash?" Yeah, that you would think that Bestie he you would think he'd be smart enough to use that. Like everybody should, we don't want to sit there. We ain't trying to tell everybody to do anything illegal. We just saying like a paper trail. You're supposed to use that. You know. Sasha says KK, Robin, and Jessica should be part of the RICO. Agreed. 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 Like I said, anybody who knew of the criminal activity and went along with it, aided him, should be part of it. I don't think that they should be allowed to be granted immunity. Now, I get it, though. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do anything, they still got to serve time. You can reduce it if they help you. But I don't think it should be to where they get immunity and have to face no charges at all. Because at the end of the day, none of them stop to help victims, right or wrong. So, and we're going to use just a hypothetical situation. But if you go and you hang out with your friends, a group of your friends, and you're in a car with them, and two out of, let's say, the six of y'all, two of them two of your friends get out of the car, and they go and they rob the bank, and then jump back in the car, and then the car is caught on surveillance. Well, when you get pulled over, all six are going to jail. It's not going to be the two that went in, but the four that was in the car, they're going to consider you accessory. So I just feel like they're accessories. But, although they knew they were in compliant, they knew what was going on. So it makes it to me, it makes it worse for them. Bessie says, yep, not one person, it's everybody. Exactly, it's everybody in the car. So why shouldn't that same thing apply to these people? Sasha said KK gave the instructions, Robin supplied the funds, Jessica made the flights. Right. And Brandon supplied the D-rugs. So everybody, that just shows the whole criminal operation in itself. So now I guess that's why those videos were important. And this is what I mean by you got to end with a bang. You got to end with a home run. And so you have all of this. To me, sorry, the promoter left another message. I mean, not the promoter, the director. I said promoter, think of wrestling. It ends it on that note. Like that is it. Like I tell everybody who has anything legal going on. If you have it in black and white usually trumps anything and everything. If you have documentation to support what you're saying, it's hard for anybody to doubt that or discredit that. And so they just showed right here. Charlie, where you at, Charlie Sprinkles, when we need you? Where you at? This shows right here how you come with RICO. And yeah, a lot of people think you need a whole more than one person to have that, because that's what it was designed for against the mafia, stuff like that. Yeah, I get it. I do. But no, in this case it's him, but he did have people working for him that he paid to do these things. He was the leader. Jenny says, I really wanted him to spill everything. I did too. Because I feel like there's, even what we got, I still feel like there's so much more missing. I'm not going to lie to you. And not to wish bad. I'm not trying to do that at all. Please, Lord, no, I'm not trying to wish bad on anybody. But I wanted this to lead to Big and Pop. I wanted us to see, I wanted to be able to know after this case if he 100%, 1,000% had something to do with their unaliving. I believe it, but what is that? I wanted the tangibles. Jenny said, it left me hanging for real. Yeah, I feel like we didn't get all of it. We didn't. Hey, my cousin's in here, Darmaine Scott. What up, cuzzo? Yeah, it left us hanging. There's so much more that could have been put in here that's not. Jenny says they can't tie them in because they're guilty too. Ooh. W Jenny in the chat. Ain't no much, cuzzo. Just doing his work. Just doing his work on here. Hey, are you on the road? Are you at home? Are you off the road today? Are you driving? Yeah. I'm with you on that, bestie. We deserve to get so much more. But now it also leads to this too. If he is found guilty, is he going to bring down anybody else? I'm at the house. Just got back from Oregon. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely get you some rest in on that, man. How was it over there in Oregon? Did you like it? All right. The prosecution says, Agent, do you recognize this? Oh, it has Jane's information in it. We need to keep the public screens off. People, walk us through. Oh, I'm sorry. Please walk us through the columns of this chart. Agent C responds, it has to, and from, and the content, the source of the information. What? Let me read that over. It might be me. It has to, and from, and the content, the source of the information. I don't know. That left me hanging. I don't know. Bestie Jenny says, right, I feel left out of the loop, especially since us old heads been in since day one. Right. Listen. There should be a way that, like, okay, if you this old and you listen to this music, you get to see this information. All right, we're going to do a couple more refreshes and see if they update anything before we close out. We'll start closing out about 10:45. About 10:40. So 3 more minutes. But yeah, hey, to what Jenny said earlier, I encourage you all to go and follow or listen to King World on YouTube. He goes in depth on a lot of this stuff. He goes in depth on it, and I think you all it could be beneficial. And like I said, I'm being honest. A lot of stuff I don't agree with what he says, but a lot of stuff I do agree with what he says. So, but what I do like about him is he's raw and uncut. which we may need to start going live on YouTube. It seems like you got more leeway and freedom on what you can say over there. King World is his name. Jenny, will you pin his name, or will you put his name in the live, please, love? Thank you. Okay, the prosecutor says, "What's this?" Agent C says, "Jane Doe to Puffy Jacket, asking should we have Jess look into flights?" The prosecution asks, "Let's look at the exhibit. Public screen is still off. Is this Mr. Puffy Cone to Jane Doe?" Agent C says, "He asks, tell me when you can come." She says, "Night." And again, people, this is not the same. This is not the same as you having your girlfriend come over and you tell her like, you know,
"Hey, baby, if you come over, I'll give you some gas money to get here, you know."
it ain't the same as that. You get me? This is not the same thing. This is on a totally different spectrum than that. So, because I don't want people, they just came over there to, have fun and hunch each other. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, the hunching part isn't, but it's the way the money is being spent that makes it the problem. Prosecution says, "Then what?" Agent C says, "Jane writes, I'm not coming to New York. I feel disrespected. You just want me for a hotel binge." Then she writes, "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies." Okay, let's pause right there. Well, hold on, let me read this. Puffy Jacket says, "That was podcast talk. Any event." Okay, let's highlight this part right here, where Jane Doe says, "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies." And locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies. Why is that so? That just that part of the context important, because this is how the juror is probably going to hear that. Locked in the room means held against your will. I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying she was. I'm just trying to tell you how words can paint the narrative. And given what we know and what he's done to it, probably does mean that. But I digress. Locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies. The ears can't unhear what it heard. So the juror's ears can't unhear that. Jenny says, "Do you remember he said that on Bravo, talking about locked doors to set the mood?" Yep. And W. Jenny in the live. Once again, telling on himself. That's holding somebody against their will. So in conjunction with dragging Cassie back to the room that she left from, and then you have this, that's going to fall in the line. Kidnapping, being held hostage, stuff. I mean, listen, well, I've said it before, and I definitely will say it now, and it rings even more truer now. If you still say you don't see Ricardo, you choose not to see Ricardo. All right? Hey, listen, we're going to end the show because I have got to go eat before I pass out on you guys, and that's not going to be good, My cousin says, sounds like 50 Shades of Grayish. W, my cousin in the live. It does. It does give that vibe. Oh yeah, absolutely. We're gonna do that for sure, Jenny. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to that part now. All right. Let us go and let us bow our heads and go into prayer before we close the show, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to Thee to thank You for Your grace and mercy, Father. Father, we thank You for the love that You still give us, even when we fall short of the glory and disappoint You and fall against Your word, Father. Father, we thank You for giving us strength to get back up and continue to fight this weary battle of this thing called life, Father. We thank You. We thank You for Your grace and mercy. We thank You for the blood of Christ that we can that was shed for the remission of our sins, Father. That we still have a pathway to You. Dear Lord, it is with our prayer that we just ask that You go out and bless those that feel like they have fallen too far away from You and that there's no way that they can get back on track. To let them know that as long as You possess them with breath in their lungs, there is always an opportunity to come back home to You and to get closer to You, Father. And Father, we just thank You for all the blessings that You bestowed upon us, because even though we know we're not worthy, Your love never changes and You continuously bless us. And we just want to thank You for that, Lord. Lord, I pray that You be with those who are feeling unwell and sick right now, that You nourish them back to health, Father, that You place Your healing hands upon them, Father. Father, we know that You are in the miracle-making business, and we have faith in You and only You, Father, to make that happen. You are the one true and living King, Lord. These things we ask in Your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Let us all say, amen. Don't forget, 5 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, on YouTube, we have Global Impact Wrestling TV. Go and follow that on YouTube. We have Monday Night Mayhem, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join us. Everybody's invited. Everybody's welcome. And those that do decide to just drop in and check us out, I thank you in advance. Also, let's give shout out to Whistleblower for Justice organization that I am a brand ambassador for, which I need to call them because we need to have a meeting. But let's give a shout out for them, and let's give them thanks for their efforts at helping those that are incarcerated receive proper representation, for calling out the inadequate housing of inmates, as well as partnering with those foundations to help inmates when they get released become reacclimated in society and help them at lessening their chances of reoffending and going back. Because we do know, I said it before and I continuously say it, jails and prisons are nothing but modern day slave ships. And so anytime we have a group of people that are helping people stay off that modern day ship, I am all for it. So we want to thank them for their works and good deeds that they do. That's Whistleblower for Justice. Also, if you want to watch past episodes of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It, I ask that you go and follow my page on YouTube, GSmooth404. Don't forget, July 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on YouTube, go and follow Tay Retta Vision Films. We will have the debut of our web series that we've been shooting called Dope Girls. It will drop July 1st, 8 p.m. We'd love you all to join in and watch it. It's definitely an adult-oriented show, so I don't recommend kids watching it. So if you could be in your bedroom or in your car or just somewhere away from kids, please join in and watch. Again, it's not kid-friendly. I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you that disclaimer right now, right? I've given you that disclaimer right now. So, but please join in. Join in and watch your favorite host, Mr. Breaking News, self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News. As I am a star on the show, by the name of Stacks.
Another headline scream.
What else do I have? Don't forget we have merchandise. Hashtag I'm gonna say it merchandise. Shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. By all means, if you like to order one, just make sure you inbox me. Shout out to my new moderator, Natty. I got yours coming. I got yours coming, love. I gotta get that done for you. And just thank all of you. I want to give it up for my gifters. Give it up to my moderators. And give it up to all of you for joining us today of hashtag I'm gonna say it. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all.
The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Thank you for that community fest, Natty. I appreciate it. Thank you, love.
To the gossip in the street, the addictions that bind us.
You all be safe while you out there, man. Be safe.
The cracks in the foundation, the violence unseen.
If you're looking for spiritual inspiration, spiritual vitamin, I highly recommend you go and follow our church on YouTube as well. That's 2819 Church. Have amazing services on there. Shout out to our pastor, Philip Anthony Mitchell. You can be a digital disciple and join us on YouTube for our services on Sunday. We have 3, 8 p.m., 10:30, and 1. I enjoyed doing our mission work for 2819 this past weekend, stamping Bibles and shipping them out to prisons for inmates to read.